Hey guys, it's Lindsay from One of KY Homesteaders, and we are doing our first yard tour of August. So summer has gone by super quickly. It is still super toasty here, so we are still trying to do as much outside as we possibly can, but we have taken a few days off to kind of sit in the cool for a little bit, but we are going to get right back to it. So we're going to start back up front here. So our little sedum, we had actually pulled all of this sedum out, but it has come back. I think I'm just going to allow it to stay, maybe see if I can get it to spread all the way down just so it's a little bit of a weed barrier, because really not a lot of weeds are growing through it, but obviously we still have plenty of weeds. The creeping veronica has put more blooms back on. So, and a lot of things through here are starting to get very, very tired. We have these asters here that are done blooming. Sometimes they bloom twice, but this year they haven't. Our lamb's ear looks phenomenal. So no blooms off of it, but you can tell our phlox, it's at the end of its reign here. So our mums are doing good. We're already getting color. Typically people say cut them back the first weekend in July so you have blooms for the fall. We obviously did not do that, but that's okay. It's pretty now. So we still have something fungusy kind of going on, but I think this plant's done for this year. So soon we need to go ahead and cut things back. So we'll probably wait until things are a little bit closer to actually being done, more plants, just so we can cut them all back at the same time. These poor hanging baskets, they're putting on growth. They just still don't look very good. So everything on the porch is looking good. This petunia, it does not give up. It keeps on going, which is fine. Definitely will not be growing it again. Like, it's pretty, but it's just not my favorite. So our little arrangement over here, finally, all three are blooming. It has taken forever for this lantana to bloom with the geranium. So I'm very glad to see the mix of colors. And of course, our fiddle leaf fig is still hanging outside, which it will be until it cools off much more. So this side is looking great. These brown-eyed Susans look wonderful. And of course, we've added more hummingbird feeders. We are trying to encourage more of them. We've seen a lot of them, but it would be awesome to have even more. So our little butterfly bush is doing pretty good. I probably should have cut back this brown-eyed Susan just a little bit more so there is plenty of room, but that's okay. So again, all of our chrysanthemums are getting ready to bloom. Like, this one's huge. I don't even know what color this one's supposed to be. So, but mums are hit or miss here. Sometimes they do great, sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. So we could have them for a few more years and then they could just be done. So this aster is huge. So no blooms on it yet, though. The other one down at the other side has been budding up a little bit, but still nothing yet. Oh, wait, maybe right here. Maybe a teeny tiny little bloom starting. So, which the other one's purple and this one's kind of pinkish, I think. So that'll be fun. Through here is doing pretty good. Of course, we hit up the discount rack and got some coreopsis. The elephant ear that I completely forgot about and left buried and did not uncover is now coming back up, which is fine. I'm glad it is. I wouldn't expect it to live. So definitely need to pull some weeds. And this said it was a daisy. I'm not convinced that it was a daisy, but you can't beat, 75% off. Little Fairy Garden's doing good. It's a little bit overgrown, but we've been taking some pieces of it for arrangements. Back here is doing great. So this is my favorite piece back here. I think it's so pretty. So lots of yarrow. And of course, lots of weeds. This arrangement's doing good. I think I overwatered a few days and this kind of dried up a little bit now, but that's okay. We did cut back our petunias, all the blooms off of them, because they were getting yellow and they looked dry. So we cut them back, encourage a little bit more growth. So this one is put on a lot of growth since then, just no more blooms. And the cute little fairy garden we entered in the fair is just sitting in that small bird bath. I'm definitely excited to see how everything's going to look next year. So then of course through here, I really hope the rest of this hydrangea catches up because it's very odd looking, just kind of hanging up here. And then of course this still has buds on it, but it's just way too hot for this to keep on going. And then of course the Russian sage with some weeds mixed in. So in a future video, you're going to see us clean out these garden beds. So I'm not going to hit too heavily on this. We did have a fungus on our tomatoes. They're doing better now, but we had to cut them way down, and we're keeping the shade cloth on them until they get a little bit more growth. So we moved some plants around. We took out the cucumbers and still only one loofah. We've tried getting the other things to pollinate, but no luck yet. We have some corn that is real close to being ready, so I might need another week or so. It's getting real close. The peppers had a very heavy cutback, and we are now getting some different colors on these Chinese peppers. Also, we just really wanted room for other things to grow. And here is a jalapeno that I've missed for a while, apparently. I do need to come back through and get some more. Here's another pretty good sized one. So, and we have more tomato plants coming up. Things are a little dry. It was kind of hot today. So here are some sort of lime variety of zinnia. So they are finally budding up. Our blueberry is still looking a little rough. After we expand the chicken run, those will get planted in the ground. Still tons more peppers. I cut this back pretty heavily. Not quite sure why these are curling so much though. That's typically. So some pumpkins coming. And this is called a tromboncino. Quite a few of them. They're getting pretty big, and these are almost ready to pull. And then our little bed over here of zinnias and sunflowers. So smaller variety. Love kids. So this will be some fun color a little bit later in the season. So through here we have our blackberry bushes, which just keep getting bigger and bigger, which is exactly what I wanted. It helps provide a lot of extra shade to the chickens here. So the grapes are going crazy. It is going to be awesome next year. I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of them. We do have some lower down. I'm not quite sure if they are going to make it, but that's okay. I mean, for a second year plant, that's doing pretty good. So our raspberries, which at some point I will relocate. And then of course another blackberry bush. So again, I cut blooms off of this. This back side is starting to bloom a little bit more. I try to rotate it every couple of weeks so everything gets a lot of sun. So, and clearly we need to keep spraying our neem oil because it's just hot and humid, and it's really easy for stuff to get funguses this time of year. So through here, this hydrangea is looking great. The hostas, whichever you want to say. The hostas are burnt, but it is very late in the summer, so they unfortunately don't look very good, but I don't really want to cut them back yet. So this arrangement is literally my favorite piece back here, with everything just trailing down. And more of that petunia I'm not real crazy about. And of course our volunteer gourd. This is one plant. Only one plant. And there are, I don't know how many gourds. Every time I look at it, there's more of them. So over here we have our sunflowers, and they just keep on going. They have not stopped one bit. I'm not really deadheading these. I want these to go to seed. I want some of the seeds to go down here, and then of course the rest will go to the chickens as a snack. Our dahlias are doing really well. So this one has a little bit of a purple tint to it. It's the Cafe Olay. Not all of our dahlias have bloomed yet, but that's okay. there's still a lot of them, and I'm thinking after these sunflowers slow down, which very soon these sunflowers will be done, and then those will come down, and those dahlias should be able to do quite a bit more. So, but I just feel like they keep putting on more and more growth like up top. So how tall do you think these are?
10.
So probably 10 to 12 feet, depending on the variety. And then of course our zinnias, they are getting very heavy and they are hard to stake up at this point. So this one here, the striped one here, this came from Dollar Tree. It was like, I think 4 for $1.25 seed packets, and it is doing so well. Definitely going to be purchasing more from them. So, but these will get probably maybe another 3 to 4 inches taller. So they've definitely been putting on some growth. It's getting kind of chaotic and messy in here in the sense of like plants are kind of all going together, but I kind of like this wild and crazy look of everything. So we have been trying to keep up with deadheading the zinnias just so we still have more blooming. It's just like my favorite little piece. So through here we have planted more seeds. There's gomphrena, there's nasturtiums, there's more zinnias. There might be a few more sunflowers as well. So hopefully we'll get kind of like a later crop of them. This plant here is almost gone to seed. So here in probably the next day or two, we'll be able to pull this one out. I'm going to leave 1 or 2 of these sunflower heads down so they can come back next year. So we have been fertilizing our strawberries. We are going to have just absolutely bunches of strawberries next year, which is super exciting. This year we only had a couple of them, so it's just kind of nice to enjoy them, but we'll definitely be able to use strawberries next year for stuff. And of course the white lavender. So I really like this. I honestly thought it was dead and almost got rid of it, so I'm glad that I didn't. So these ferns are doing a lot better. They get a lot more sun, which is I think why they do better. And then of course we did cut back these petunias. They're not going to be long and trailing over like they were, but they were just getting yellow and tired and they were going to die anyway. So I don't really want to try to plant more stuff for fall. So this lantana is gorgeous. It keeps putting on bunches of blooms and buds and growth. This is probably only the second time it's bloomed this year. So, and then of course our geranium, which this has required just tons of deadheading this year. It's really not as full as I thought it would be. And then of course our other volunteer sunflower, which is very, very large and still going strong. So here are 2 of our dwarf hollyhocks. So that pink one is my favorite, like in the little pieces of white in there. So I'm definitely excited for these to come back next year. I really like these and maybe I'll end up planting some more. We shall see. But I am going to go ahead and end the video here and I will catch you guys on the next one.